I like it like this. You so quiet, it's like you can't say nothing. I ain't never seen you this quiet. It's amazing how quiet you are. What'd you say? Nothing. What'd you say? Yeah, I'm smiling over here because you ain't saying nothing back. Yes, you are so quiet. But you seem way more intelligent like this. This is how you should have been yesterday. Just listen to me when I talked about UFC 259 in the fallout. If you had done this, bro, the show would have been so much smoother. But why is your mouth always closed in this situation? Do you need some dental work done, bro? Is that what it is? Do we need to GoFundMe for some dental work for you? I'm just asking. Well, maybe we'll find out on the other side of this. Bro, I love you like this when you can't talk.
Introduce you to the greatest combat sports show bar none. You are now in the Beatdown.
You wanna get beat down?
Let us now introduce you to your host, the Badger, and
What's going on, family? Morning, Pops. I see you up here. Let's see what you saying this morning. What you saying? Good morning, guys. Well, it's just me right here. Me and my poo. We are wonderful on this beautiful sunny day up there. Okay. But I brought along, the Badgers got something you got to take care of today. So I brought along the person I think is most fitting to co-host with me. I got a picture of my poo up here. Yes. The most beautiful girl in the world, even though she was quite irritated when I took this picture. But that's okay. That's okay. Long as you still love Daddy. But I love this picture of her. She is not looking happy with me at all. I'm probably going to pay for this, but that's okay. Look, we got a good show coming at you. That look though. If you look at them eyes, the way she's looking at me, or she wasn't happy. And that's a 5-year-old. And that is a 5-year-old looking like that at her dad. I mean, whoo-wee. Look, we got a good show for you today. Talking about some things. Got a couple jokes coming at you. Talking more about the fallout from UFC 259. It's pretty incredible. Just a couple of fights people are focusing on, and it's pretty incredible. Some of the statements that are being made, it's like, wow, people really think that as an adult, you have to act exactly like they want you to act. And it's like life doesn't happen that way. So we'll get into that. My dad's favorite team, the Cowboys, signed their quarterback to a long deal. Kind of talk about that and the ramifications of that. My dad and my brother, Cowboy fans for life. How about them Cowboys? He's going to be upset with me because I think he's a Giants fan. One of those teams that play in New Jersey and say they're from New York. It's going to be a good day. I hope I have some friends when I finish the show, but it's going to be a good day. Listen. Let's deal with the Dak Prescott thing first. I believe Dak Prescott betting on himself and the media pressure helped get him this incredible deal from Jerry Jones late yesterday evening. It was announced then that Dak signed a 4-year, $160 million contract. $126 million is guaranteed, and he got a $66 million signing bonus. Half of his contract, over half of his guaranteed money is a signing bonus. A signing bonus. Incredible. I don't care how you look at it. That's incredible. But they had to do it so they could have more money in the cap. They were close to being against the cap anyway. The funny thing is, had they signed Dak last year instead of signing Ezekiel Elliott to the deal, they would have paid Dak $32 million a year for 4 years. But Jerry Jones wanted to lock him up for 5 years. So, Jerry, you're still paying him the same amount of money for 4 years that you would have gotten him for 5 years. Actually, you're paying more because you had to pay him the franchise tag for this year when he got hurt and he was out all but 5 games. So, yeah, who really made out in that deal? Realistically, Jerry. I'm listening. Yeah, Dak made out in that deal. So I can't be mad at him. I can't be mad at him at all. Hey, I'm going to let my poo go on just in case the Badger is able to show up. But this is who I'm always giving a shout out to, her and her mama. She got her mischievousness from me. She actually looks like me a little bit with the cheeks and the nose. She does. And, but she got the rest of the looks from her mama. Thank God. Look, let me go ahead and get her down. And things are right again. So that's my poo. I love her. All right. So Dak is signed that huge contract. And immediately Vegas puts the odds in favor of the Cowboys to win the division next year, or win the division. The NFC least. But I don't think so. Because you got 4 defensive linemen from Washington who beg to differ. Dallas's problem wasn't just the quarterback. It had a lot to do with the quarterback. But they had injuries to the offensive line. They were out of sorts. The defense was horrific. You got to shore up that defense. They got rid of the defensive coordinator, which is a good thing. And they brought in a new one. Let's see if Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott can right the ship. But you got to put some money on the defensive side of that ball if you're really going to have a shot to do this. I know this is a combat sports show, but this is something that just weighed on me. I had to kind of talk about it. So moving on from that, we have fallout from Aljamain Sterling versus Petr Yan. Now, we know that Petr Yan got disqualified with an illegal knee to Aljamain Sterling's face, which gave him a concussion and put him on Crazy Street, completely on Crazy Street. So now people are upset in the MMA community and online because Aljamain Sterling took pictures with family and friends holding the belt that he won by disqualification. Listen, this is insane. And Daniel Cormier weighed in. Why is it anybody's business that he took pictures with his belt? Petr Yan was disqualified. They took the belt from him. It's no longer his belt. Aljamain Sterling should not be ashamed because he did nothing wrong. He should be able to hold that belt. Hey, I won the belt. I got in. I fought. He hit me illegally. I didn't tell him to hit me illegally. I wanted to go on. The referee and the doctor stopped the fight. I'm not ashamed that I gave my all and I got hit illegally and I was concussed. I'm not ashamed of that. Would I have liked to win it by beating him, either submitting him, knocking him out, or winning by decision? Yes. Everybody would want to win that way. But you have no control over somebody else's activity that cost them the belt. So would I take a picture of it? Yes. Here's the funny thing. Petr Yan took a picture with Aljamain Sterling, holding the belt. That didn't bother you? But it bothered you when they were toasting in the hotel room or wherever it was, and he unwrapped the belt and was looking at it, and people were... It bothered you because you screwed up. You gave away a championship fight that you were winning. That's what bothers you. Has nothing to do with him. Don't call him a paper champ. You gave the fight away. You get a chance to fight him again, which, do I think you deserve a rematch? No, I think the punishment has to fit the crime. My partner, on the other hand, feels like, oh, they took his belt from him. What else could they do? Suspend him. Drop his ranking. Maybe he has to fight somebody else before he fights Aljamain Sterling again for the title. I don't know. I just don't believe the rematch should be on Petr Yan's terms, because you committed an egregious act that you knew was illegal. You knew it was illegal. Everybody, even the casual fan, knows you cannot knee somebody when they're down, and his knee was clearly down. And you checked with your corner, which meant you had doubt. You could have punched him. Oh, but his hands were up. So he was actually able to control your hands. So you couldn't punch him. So you asked your corner, should I kick him? But then you came back and said, no, I didn't have a conversation with my corner. Yes, you did, in Russian. How do we know? We heard the conversation, and Khabib Nurmagomedov reported as to what was being said. That's how we knew. So to me, it wasn't just the act of the knee to the face. It was the fact that you asked about it, which meant you knew it was wrong. It was a possibility. It was a foul. And as a fighter, they go over these things in the dressing room, so you knew. Everybody knows you don't knee somebody when they're down, especially not in the head. That is ridiculous. So yeah, I believe instead of you getting an immediate rematch, no, bro, you need to think about your crime. If I robbed a liquor store and then took the stuff back the next day and got arrested on my way taking it back, I'm still going to jail. They're not going to say, you know what? You gave it back. Go on your merry way. No, I broke the law. I broke the rule. They're going to take me to jail, even though I gave the stuff back. Even if I robbed a grocery store because I needed to feed my family, and I brought the stuff back because I knew it was wrong. Or you know what? I asked my wife, do you think I did something egregious because I brought home food from the family that I stole from the grocery store? My wife's the type that would say, take it back. So I take it back after my corner man tells me, I'm still going to get arrested because I took it. So you need him in the face. You knocked him loopy. You could have seriously injured him. Maybe then people would have understood the gravity of what you did. But since Aljamain stayed awake, even though he wasn't really functional, you could see it. They actually have a doctor that came online and explained it. Maybe Thursday I'll pull it up. But even with this, people are still saying he was faking. It wasn't consistent with a concussion. You have an impartial doctor who's looking at this and saying, yeah, it is consistent with a concussion. But he can't take a picture with his family. And Henry Cejudo, I love the fact that you've got all this mouth after you've retired. You're still young. If you still got all this knowledge, back it up and get your butt back in the octagon. Stop being an armchair fighter. And I like how you gave the backhanded compliments. I applaud Aljamain but he shouldn't have done this, he shouldn't have done that, and da 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 da. We don't need to hear from you because you're retired. If you want to keep saying how much you could do better, you're still young. Get your butt back in the octagon. Prove it. You were given your first title from Demetrius Johnson, and then Dana traded him away so he couldn't get his rematch. So that's why I can't call you a triple champ. I do salute you because I grew up a wrestler. I salute you for your gold medal. Somehow you beat Dominic Cruz. Yes, you became a double champ and you defended it. But you became a double champ off of a gift. You did not beat Demetrius Johnson. And to ensure that you would not be exposed, your boss traded him to another organization so he could not get his rematch because he was a problem in the eyes of the UFC. Not because of any egregious acts, anything he did outside the octagon, but because he called Dana White and management on the carpet for the acts against the fighters. So until you got the guts to give Demetrius Johnson a rematch, shut up. All right, so that was the main thing. The fact that they're talking about Aljamain Sterling like that. Like the man has done something wrong because he received the belt via disqualification and took a picture with his people that flew in to see him fight and celebrate with him. I'd have done the same thing. If I was up to it, I'd have done the same thing. I wouldn't have cared, whether the MMA community got upset about me, celebrating with my family. This is a lifelong goal to win a world championship. There's now nothing no one ever can do to take this from you. You are a world champion. So you got it via disqualification. You did not cause the disqualification. You did not fake an injury. Don't be ashamed to be recognized as a champion, Aljamain Sterling. Literally, you earned it. Peter Yan, great fighter. He'll definitely get a rematch. I just don't think it should be on his terms. I don't think it should be right away. I think Aljamain should be able to heal up, and if he wants to defend it against somebody else first, great, because not every champion gets an automatic rematch. Right? Chris Cyborg, you lost your belt. You got fired. They wouldn't renew your contract. So you could get your rematch with Amanda Nunes. Right, Demetrius Johnson, you lost your title. Well, they stole it from you and gave it to Cejudo. But you got traded. You couldn't get a rematch. So, no, I don't feel bad if Peter Yan does not get a rematch right away. You got disqualified, bro, off of a blatant illegal knee. Think about what you've done. Keep training. If I'm Aljamain, I take another fight. I defend my title. If I lose it, I lose it. If I win it, then I come back and give you that rematch. But you should not just come right back after that move. And I heard what Badger said yesterday about he was in the corner of a fighter he managed, and his fighter gave an illegal knee to the opponent in the title fight, and listen, it's not the right thing that your fighter got away with one. I'm not talking about that. They got away with one. They should not have, but they did. But it has no bearing on this one. Your fighter wasn't on national TV. This was on pay-per-view. Different level sends a different message. It is what it is. All right. In other comments, this is crazy. People are talking about Israel Adesanya as if he's not the goods, he's not the business, he's not a true champion because he got robbed against Jan Blachowicz. Now, Jan Blachowicz is at minimum a 220, 225 pound man who cuts and gets down to 205. Polish power. Yes, he's got Polish power. It wasn't on display Saturday night. People talk about, well, Izzy got destroyed. Israel Adesanya did not get destroyed. I don't know how they gave Jan the second round, but they did. At most, just like Jesus, who came on Sunday and agreed with me, at most, it should have been a 10-10 round. Jesus had the scorecard 48-48. I agree with that. At minimum, I agree with that. Israel Adesanya is a normal 185 pounder. He got himself up to 201 pounds in this 205 pound fight. Jan weighed in at the 205 limit, but he rehydrates up over 220 pounds. If you don't believe 20 pounds makes a big difference, lay down, have somebody put a weight on your chest that is 20 pounds more than you currently weigh, and you try to move around and get that weight off of you easily. It's not going to happen. And where Izzy messed up is he let Jan take him down. We saw flaws in Israel's defense. The fact that he was not able to stop the shots. And Izzy usually gets people in these stand-up and trade deals where people want to be tough. Guys, unfortunately, want to seem tough. So if Israel is knocking everybody else out or he's beating you on points, somehow, even though you're a great wrestler, you feel like you want to stand and trade with him. Dude is super fast. He's fast for a middleweight. You knew he was going to be fast for a light heavyweight. And I say this, and I've gotten a lot of kickback from it, but I'll continue to say, we give way too much credit to octagon control with no action. Israel Adesanya was moving around, hitting Jan Blachowicz 2.5 minutes of that fifth round. The last 2.5 minutes, Jan took Izzy down and laid on him. Gave a few punches to the ribs, and then at the last 10 to 20 seconds, started trying to rain down elbows on him. But for the most part, he just held Izzy down. How do you give octagon control when you literally took me down the last half of the fight, but the first half of the fight, I was kicking your behind on the feet? So I didn't get octagon control on the feet, but you got it when you took me down and held me there. Listen, octagon control was implemented when too many athletic groups got in here and they were able to pepper people with punches and kicks. Too many people with boxing ability got in here and they were able to start taking advantage of the fact that most of the UFC at that time were just barely strikers. They weren't skilled practitioners with the hands. So how do you equalize that? Hey, just take him down and hold him. Take him down and hold him. If you can submit him, great. If you can grind on him, great. But as long as you take him down and hold him, we'll give you credit for almost like riding time in college, collegiate wrestling, where you get an extra point if you have more than a minute riding time, accrue more than your opponent. This is BS. It is BS. We need to look at Octagon Control for what it is and dismiss it. If you're not going to give me credit for the time I have on the feet, then I'm controlling the fight. But again, those who make the rules for those they feel need to be able to have the great equalizer. And so many fights end up wrong because of that. So many fights end up wrong because of little nuances like Octagon Control. And you only get it if you take somebody down. Now, if you take somebody down and you're beating them up the whole time, and you're pinning their arms, controlling their arms, and you're working moves, and that's Octagon Control. Now you're not just holding me on the ground, but you've got me down and I'm in a perilous situation. I'm looking like I've been beaten up the whole time. Izzy was hitting him in the face when he was on the bottom. But that doesn't take away from the Octagon Control given Jan for laying on him. It's serious. It's purely BS. I mean, show me where I'm wrong. Whoever saw that fight, comment. Get in the comments and show me where I'm wrong. I will put them up here. I don't care if I agree or not. I'll put it up here. Let me know how I'm wrong. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Izzy got his first loss. And the MMA community is reacting like, chump. Really? Really? You go 25 minutes with the lightweight champion of the world who outweighs you by a minimum 20 pounds? He's supposed to be able to knock you out. He can barely lay a hand on you. And you're called chump? What? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But hey, I wanted to deal with those two items because I think we have better uses of our time than to cyberbully a fighter for doing more than we could. I mean, I think John Jones is the best fighter on the planet. But John talked about how poorly Izzy did in that fight. But a lot of people say John ran the heavyweight, so he didn't have to deal with Jan Blachowicz. Now, I don't agree, but that's what a lot of people say. But John went up to heavyweight so he could fight Stipe Miocic. And we'll see, because John has put on a lot of muscle. That's going to be a good fight. And a matter of fact, that happens the end of this month on the 27th. So you definitely want to buy this one. It's going to be 2 title fights, and one of them is going to be... No, wait a minute. No, John doesn't fight Stipe at the end of the month. Francis Ngannou fights Stipe at the end of the month. Rematch. Gonna be good. They say Francis is more dynamic now, but we'll get into that closer to the fight. Man. So we dealt with Dak. We dealt with Aljamain. We dealt with your man, Israel Adesanya. Let me check my notes. It's been a good show so far. Thank you for commenting, Kenneth Clark. For those of you who are still watching, throw a comment in there. Let me know. This is an interactive show. I could be corrected, just not by the Badger, because he's just never right. So, I'm saying I'm not gonna let him correct me. He's just not right. And that's not true. If I'm wrong, I usually do allow, I'll accept that. But in this one, no, he was wrong. March 10th, that's tomorrow, my niece's birthday. Happy birthday, early happy birthday, Tegan. March 10th, we have Brandon Lee versus Samuel Tay. That's going to be a good fight. That's going to be from the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. It's going to be on Showtime. 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow night, you have Brandon Lee versus Samuel Tay. It's going to be a good fight. These are super lightweights. They're going to punch from bell to bell. It's going to be a good fight. I just don't want y'all to miss these. And on Thursday, Thursday, looks like we have two fights. No, Friday. I'm sorry. Friday, we have two fights. We have, oh my goodness, if I messed this name up. Oh, both of them. Oh, we have one from Thailand that's going to be, yeah, I don't even think we'll be able to see that one. Sri Saket Sor Rungvize versus Quante Sidmorsing. Yeah. But then the one we will be able to see on ESPN Friday is Lewis Crocker versus Denis Ilbe. So that's going to be a good one. That'll be on ESPN. And then Saturday, we do have a UFC fight, but we have a good boxing fight. We talked about this last week thinking it was last weekend. Then come to find out it wasn't. On the 13th, we have, oh my goodness, we got two. Okay, we have Juan Francisco Estrada versus Romain Chocolatito Gonzalez. Yeah, that fight's going to be on the Zone from the American Airlines Arena in Dallas, Texas. And on Showtime, we have David Benavidez versus Ronald Ellis. Both of those are going to be good. The Chocolatito fight is for the WBC and WBA super flyweight titles. The David Benavidez fight is going to be for the WBC super middleweight eliminator. They're coming for Canelo's belt. You really want to watch both of these. Chocolatito fight, the one on the Zone, I don't see a time, but the one on Showtime, the David Benavidez Ronald Ellis fight, that'll be 9 p.m. Look, if you can, watch that David Benavidez fight just to see why we keep talking highly about him. It's not by accident. Not at all. Not by accident. He's a heck of a fighter. Heck of a fighter. So I'm going to try my best to watch both of them. Look, it's joke of the day time. I'm going to give people credit who told the jokes. So hope y'all like it. I'm going to stay quiet and just kind of react. Let's see if I can get this thing up and get it ready. All right. Let's get this thing sorted out. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Let's get rid of our background. Here we go. Enjoy, folks.
Tell me your favorite dirty joke.
Woman comes home and finds a letter from her husband on the dinner table. She opens it and it reads, "My dear wife, you will understand that I have certain needs that you, as a 54-year-old woman, can no longer satisfy. I'm very happy with you and I value you as a good wife. However, after reading this letter, I hope you will not wrongly interpret the fact that I'll be spending the evening with my 18-year-old secretary at the Comfort Inn. Please
What?
do not be upset. I shall be back before midnight. When the man comes home late that night, he finds a reply to his letter on the dining room table. My dear husband, I received your letter and thank you for your honesty about my being 54 years old. I would like to take this opportunity to remind you that you are also 54 years old. I'd like to inform you that while reading this letter, I'll be at the Hotel Fiesta with Michael, one of my students, who's also an assistant tennis coach.
Whoa.
He is young, virile, and like your secretary, he is 18.
Cougar.
You being a successful businessman with an excellent knowledge of math will understand that we're in the same situation, although with one small difference. 18 goes into 54. A lot more than 54 goes into 18. Woman comes home and finds a letter from...
It's true. 18 goes into 54. Way more than 54 can go into 18. Wow. Wow. I love it. I love it. Yeah. I think I'm going to give you... Oh. Should I might make y'all wait for this one because this was fun. This is a thinking joke. Thinking joke. I'm going to stay quiet. No audio reaction from me. I hope y'all like this. This reminds me of something my dad would tell.
There was a man and woman that lived in an old folks' home just like I do. And they fell in love and they used to walk together and, and hold hands. And finally they sat down on the bench and they visited, and the old man said to her, he said, honey, he said, I love you. But he said, would you do something for me? And she said, well, sure. And he said, will you hang on to my manhood? And she said, I'll be glad to. So this went on for a little while, and all of a sudden the old man didn't show up anymore. And so she saw him sitting with another woman. She said, what's the matter with you? She said, I thought you loved me. He says, I do. Well, why are you with this woman? He said, because she suffers from Parkinson's.
That's so horrible. That is so horrible. Hey, y'all would have crucified me had I told those jokes. So I had to let her tell that joke. I couldn't have gotten away with it. I couldn't have. Y'all been so good. We're gonna go for a third joke. Now which one? In honor of my dad, since he commented, I know he'll enjoy looking at her while she tells this joke.
Kid from Nebraska moves to Florida, goes to a big box store looking for a job. Manager says, got any sales experience? Yeah, I was a salesman back in Omaha. I like you. You're hired. You start tomorrow. I'll check on you at the end of the day. His first day on the job was rough, but he got through it. Manager comes down and says, how many customers did you have today? Kid says, 1. Just 1? Our salespeople average 20 to 30 a day. How much was the sale for? $101,237.65. The boss in shock says, what the hell did you sell? The kid says, small hook, then a medium hook, then a large hook, then a fishing rod. Asked him where he was going. He said down the coast. I said, you're going to need a boat. Took him to the boat department. Sold him a twin-engine Boston Whaler. He said, my Civic's not going to haul that. Took him down to automotive. Sold him that 4x4 Expedition. The boss said, that is incredulous. He came in for a hook and you sold him a boat and a truck? Nah. Guy came in here looking for tampons for his wife, and I said, dude, your weekend shot. You need to go fishing. Kid from Nebraska.
Y'all don't like that? That was funny to me. Uh-oh. I got rid of me. How did I get rid of me? Okay. That was funny to me. So, hope y'all enjoyed the show as much as I did. Hopefully my partner's able to make it back tomorrow. I know he had something he had to take care of. It was very important today. So, I just hope he's able to make it back tomorrow. We'll be here for the more formal show, our half-hour show. And hopefully we'll see you for the Fighter Share Report. Listen, we got a lot of stuff going on out there. Some stuff good, some stuff bad. We need to look out for each other. We need to pray for each other, but we need to act on each other's best behalf. We need to act as if we're treating this person like ourselves, like our most beloved loved one. And then we can heal. So reach out to those that you haven't heard from for a while. They're probably going through something. And if not, they'll just be glad to hear from you anyway. Stay in touch. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Shout out to my wife, my daughter, my mom, my pop, my brother, my sister, my nieces. Man, I got a lot of nieces. I do. My nephews. Everybody. If I forgot you, just know you're in my heart. Even if right now you're not in the space occupied in my mind. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining us on the Fight and Share, the Beatdown. Tomorrow we'll be here for the Fight and Share report. God bless y'all.